There's a combined 93 years of age up on that Lakeside stage. Paul Lim accounts for 70 of them, if you hadn't heard already. The Singapore slinger, one of the most legendary figures in the sport of darts for what he did here 34 years ago. Moreno Blom was accounted for 2-0 in the opening round, an average of 90. Meant Paul showed the world he's still a hugely capable player. And his two subsequent games have shown he is a capable battler. Defied a comeback from Kai Fan Lung to go on and win 3-2. And then last night, played late into the night against Scotsman Gary Stone. But Jarno Bottenberg is a player who has blossomed in the WDF this year. Dutch Open winner with a 1-3-1 checkout double top. Matthew Edgar, Ryan Hogarth, and the pre-tournament favourite Jimmy Van Schie have been beaten by this 23-year-old who continues to get better, and it is another fascinating encounter of contrasts. Fast versus slow, old versus young, experience versus youth. Scott Mitchell is with me for the final game of the night. And Scott, it has been a breathless evening of darts. The Duff-Brandon game will go down in Lakeside folklore. Could we potentially get another 7-setter here?
We could well do. And to get that, we are going to need Paul Lim probably to step it up a little. 60. Or Jarno to be dragged down from what his tournament average is a little. One thing you can say about 71-year-old Paul Lim is he doesn't throw the dart until he's ready.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing in the rules that say you have to throw at a certain speed. 140. He's not deliberately slowing opponents down. He's setting his sight and throwing at his pace. And it's down to the opponent to beat him with that speed. 140.
Yeah, it very much is. And the secret to this game for Bottenberg, for me, is taking his darts out, wandering away. He knows it's going to be a slow old game. But the thing that he mustn't change is from when he puts his foot to the oche and then the way that he throws. That he mustn't change. And keep his throw speed exactly the same.
And the thing is, it's not as if Paul Lim's an unknown. He knows exactly what he's going to be facing.
No, if you haven't heard of Paul Lim, no matter what age you are, you've not really been a darts fan, have you, let alone a player?
Two 140s and two 42s for Paul Lim. It's been a mixed bag. But he's coming back for 137. First leg on the board for Jarno Bottenberg.
Christian, our referee there, doing the right thing, not moving to double check that Jarno's first dart was in the double. Waiting until Jarno asked him whether it was in or not. Good refereeing there. And I have to say, we've had good refereeing all week. You've hardly known the referees are here at the games, and that's when you know a good referee. Particularly as a player, when you go back through and say, do you know what, I can't remember the referee that reffed that game because he did such a good job. Fair to say that this is the stage that probably brought Paul Lim to being a household name, particularly amongst dart players over the last 40 years. That famous 9-darter here. Quite fitting that he should announce his retirement here too, or from where it started. Lovely touch.
I wonder if he goes on and wins this. That's the plan in the back of his mind. He just appears to be a character who loves playing, and he will continue playing until he no longer has the ability.
And why not? And why not? There are other players who have announced kind of their retirement but are still doing exhibitions. It's just a tournament retirement. I know one of my good buddies, Bob Anderson, is still out there doing the bits with exhibitions, and Bob Anderson's and friends, and he's got the Fun in the Sun tournament that happens in Spain. He's still involved with the game. These players do love the game, and they will never not be involved in some way, shape or fashion. I know Bob Anderson and Sally like a game of golf or two now. They do like getting out into the country air. And if you're watching, I hope you're well, the pair of you. Not seen you for a while.
100. It'll be a big test of Jarno's patience and match play maturity. Paul Lim levels up the first set.
85.
There was a humorous reaction from Paul Lim after his win over Garrick Stone last night. He arrived into the players' room after what was a very long and grueling encounter.
100.
It was put to him that today was first to 4 sets, not first to 3. And his response was 4 letters long.
58.
I'll let you fill in the blanks. Shown plenty of scoring prowess this week. I like that shot. Gets him to a 2-darter.
100. Ordered 196.
Just single 20. Sat on the top wire. He's going 2 double 19s. Better to be safe and go inside. Now 17 will leave double top.
56. Ordered 198.
Straight at double 19, and that's how it's done. It's hanging by a thread. Go and collect it, Jarno.
Before it falls out.
40 points from first. Get him on.
He's done it again.
89.
It's that lower segment. All the 19s don't seem to be fully accepting of Jarno's darts.
Paul Lim not afraid to try another part of the board. Had a bit of success down there, so he's going there again.
133.
Saw Jason Brandon pick off many a treble 19.
140.
This is the final game this evening, and the final game, if you're UK based, that you'll be able to watch on YouTube. The semi-finals and finals tomorrow and Sunday exclusively on Blaze TV, Freeview channel 64, Sky channel 164. Have I got a future in marketing, Scott?
I think you have. Does that mean a market stall or just marketing? I think a bit of both. I think you could do both.
Yes, selling fruit and veg or something.
I'm pretty ambidextrous. Don't ask me to spell that.
100. Now we require 87.
Treble 17, first port of call. Oh, lovely dart. Double 18, double 14.
59. Order require 20.
Barely took him out of stride. Didn't need a recount or rethink.
A little do-si-do along the yockey there for Paul Lim. So a last leg decider is going to decide the outcome of set one.
60.
Where have I said that before this evening, young Dan?
I think everyone's mind is still scrambled from what we saw between Neil Duff and Jason Brandon. I know mine is. Up there for you with one of the greatest games ever seen at this stage?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, any game that gets you on the edge of your seat attracts you to the game, and that's what darts is all about. That's what we want for the fans. That's what we want for the people that come to watch. That's why people come to watch. Absolute nightmare to play in for your nerves, for your mental strength and everything else. But that's what makes the game so lovable. You did not know who was going to win until that last dart actually went in. And it keeps everybody on the edge of their seats. Those that have played, even up the pubs and clubs, understand that feeling at 2-2 or 3-2 on a Monday night or a Thursday night in your local league. So that's why the game here relates to those at home who are watching, and there's nothing better than watching a very, very tight game. Jarno Bottenberg seems to have shed a sponsor logo. We have a long shot. When he collects his darts, we will see the patch is sat on the floor to the left of the jockey up near the board. There's the patch, you can see it there on the floor.
Oh, well spotted.
And my kids keep telling me I need to wear my glasses.
I need a new pair.
So 96 for Paul Lim here to take the first set. It's a perfect marker, surely. There's a little scuffle across.
He's only going to get one dart, and it will be at tops. And it's a long way short.
There's the ghost throw.
Crowd know who they're backing.
A little smile on his face going, don't let me have a go at this young man. One to go.
30.
Still that passion, still that disappointment when he doesn't do what he's trying to do at 71 years old, but the right smile now. Jarno has taken his time here. This is going to be a test of his nerve, this game. It is going to be a test of what he's got. Did he take too long?
What he might not have in a darts time is the first set.
Another couple of little ghost throws to get the arm moving, and Paul Lim is lining up on double five. The crowd are involved now. And as we saw with the Duff game, the crowd have their favourites.
The old man of darts keeps on smiling.
Fantastic. Just having a little look at the averages after the first set, and it's 84 apiece. So it's absolutely nip and tuck. Jarno's got to find a way of keeping that tempo up once he puts his foot to the hockey. Paul Lim having a little mutter to himself. I have to say, probably the player that's had the most selfies this week here so far is Paul Lim.
No surprise.
No surprise at all. Increased crowd in here this evening has made it very warm indeed in the auditorium.
60.
It'll be superheated tomorrow.
So what you're saying, I'll have to leave me vest off tomorrow, are you? Is that what you're saying, Dan?
As long as there's something over it.
I've got one of those Rab C. Nesbitt vests. Traps the air under the shirt, you see, and keeps you warm. It's warm air.
Looking for the treble 19, treble 17 tops route.
96.
So while he keeps that pace up, he throws that little bit harder, and Bottenberg gets the dart to the destination he's looking for. Paul Lim is grinding this. Continues to be successful on the treble 19. Bottenberg follows suit, but mainly because he was chasing 95 there to leave himself 170, but the bounty was higher. So a 133 leaves him 132. That one's hanging in there on a thread. Paul Lim continues to go at it. See the flight on that particular model of flight and stem moving out of the way as it goes by.
92.
Nicely set up by Jarno.
Good leg from Jarno. Double top after 12, looking to end this miniature slump.
100.
Paul winning the last three.
40.
Double 19. Flew off the wires.
21. Only by 130.
A realistic chance here for Paul Lim. Has to stay straight with the first. Oh, he's done better than that. Now has to stay straight with this one. He got greedy going for the other treble 20, didn't he? Come on, Paul, use your experience. You should have went for the big number and give yourself a dart at that bullseye. Jarno now has a chance to come back and tidy up this 19, which you would back him to do, and quite rightly so. Holds his throw. And Paul Lim missed his opportunity there to get a dart at the double too. Try and make that a 2-0 lead, he did, but no dart at the bullseye. No chance of the leg. So on we go.
58. 96. 136.
Plays so well on his own throw, doesn't he?
85.
I suppose you learn to after all these years, don't you?
Eyeing up the 19s again.
I wonder if there's a stat somewhere to say which dart player in history has played the most legs of darts over their career. I suppose that would defend how much you've played and how regular you're at tournaments. And
140.
I'm sure someone out there knows, but I've got to admit, now is not the time for me to be digging through the archives.
no, I wasn't asking you to. It was just a metaphoric question. I'll tell you who it isn't. It's not me.
Paul's a very good shout.
134.
I'm just randomly guessing now. The things like Lakeside appearances has got to be sort of Martin Adams, I would have thought. He would have the most Lakeside appearances.
Yet another hold-up throw for Paul.
The answers to those questions on a postcard should get here by the time we leave.
The problem Jarno's got is that shaking off Paul Lim is incredibly difficult. Not just because of the pace he plays at, but because he always seems comfortable on his own throw. It's a horrible combination for the Dutchman.
177. Now you require 140.
Double 10. Oh, that's magnificent.
Applauded by Paul Lim. As we just go past the hour of 2300. See, one of our fancy dress groups are leaving. Freddie Mercury is leaving the building. I don't know whether that's Queen with him or the Beatles, I'm not sure, but they're heading for the exit. Obviously, to catch the last train or the last bus home.
134.
Or maybe the limo. There may be a limo. It's Freddie Mercury.
And he deserves it. But the show must go on here.
And it's a kind of magic from Paul Lim.
On the day where we've had two players walk out to We Will Rock You, Florian Price and Shane McGurk.
Very unusual that two players have the same walk. I think Glenn Durrant and Adrian Lewis had pickbag at the same time, but obviously in different codes, didn't they?
Yeah, and I'm sure when Glenn went over to the PDC, he wanted to commandeer it, and Adi said no. It's mine. He might message me to confirm, I don't know.
Jarno, as in previous games, looking across to his brother. His brother's sat in the same place. It's really weird here. When you start having a run at this tournament, and when you start having a run, you start doing things through superstition. And I saw yesterday somebody walking, and I won't name the player, they were walking to the stairs furthest away in the hotel to go up the left-hand set of stairs rather than the right-hand set of stairs before they entered the hotel. Because obviously that's the superstition, that's the way they started at the start of the week, by going in that set of steps because of where their car was parked, and they don't want to change it.
99.
Have you had any superstitions like that? Do you have any superstitions as a commentator? Do you have to wear the same socks or anything like that?
Well, I do have a superstition in the hotel where I use the lift to go up to the first floor instead of the stairs. Or that might just be laziness.
I think we know the answer to that, and I'm not going to highlight it.
Yeah.
You are 30 now, yesterday, so
Stone.
it's you and Thora Hurd that have used that lift then.
93.
So 74 for set 2 then for Bottenberg, treble 14. He's hit a 33, that's not a bad miss. 41 now. Heading across the double 18. And a set dart missed.
I did think he was going to go single 9.
The usual go throw from Paul Lim.
Paul Lim not going to follow up with a 140 of his own in response to Jarno's.
Now he'll look to hit the open target and throw nice and high.
100. Jarno requires 36.
To get the game back on level terms, and crucially, to break the throw. Jarno would then have the darts in the third set. Big visit before the break.
Yeah, outside Jarno.
It's tight. But Jarno
That's
Bottenberg
inside.
is made of tough stuff these days. Well, I'm not sure if you had an 11 o'clock finish penciled in. If you did, you may have to reconsider your plans. Paul Lim and Jarno Bottenberg involved in a nip and tuck contest. We've played all 10 possible legs thus far. 5 apiece, 1 set apiece. But the finish of 36 from Bottenberg in the last leg, where Lim's scoring did go a bit off the boil, meant Jarno got the break. He's now throwing in the third set. He is being slowed down. There's the Dutchman. Not purposely, of course. Paul, I believe, thinking that Jarno... Well, he thought that it was his throw first, and our referee Christian Sorensen just making him aware that that's not the case. Very even game as we expected it to be, Scott.
Yeah, even in a way that it really is big experience against kind of inexperience and flair.
180.
Fastest way to get the crowd back on side. And that's something that Jarno, should the game be tight as we go on, may have to learn to experience. And he will have to over his darting career. There's no two ways about it.
25.
I think it's fair to say that the stats say that Paul Lim is the underdog in this game.
42.
It's the worst of all worlds, really, for Bottenberg, because
99. Ordered by 100.
Paul Lim has got a legion of fans here, and yet most expect Jarno to win. It's an unwanted combination. Paul opting to go for the bull to try and leave
102.
double 16.
Ordered by 158.
Probably some wisdom to staying at the treble.
58.
Jarno down to a ton.
Ordered by 40.
A 180 start means Lim is looking for a break. Double top left. Double 10.
30. Jarno requires 100.
So a break chance for Lim goes a begging. But he will now be back with that first start from Jarno.
Ordered by 10.
Takes his time. Has a good look.
And it looks pretty good for Paul Lim. It's the second break of throw we've had where Lim got it on double 5.
Indeed. He's a player you would think is more used to going for the centre of the board these days, more used to that.
Still involved in lots of soft tip action where darts connoisseurs will know the bullseye is very heavily used.
100.
You are new to darts and you don't know what soft tip is. It's basically an electronic board that does the scoring for you. So a common theme of players who play a lot of soft tip is that they're not very good at counting because they've got machinery that does it for them.
96.
There are machines now that enable you to do that with a steel tip board. With cameras upon them and locate where your dart actually goes. And there are varying clubs and pubs up and down the country that have this facility to be able to hire a dart ball for an hour or two, and basically you stand there and throw your darts and you press a few buttons and it takes it all off for you.
.57 scored. Jarno somewhat perturbed that Lim needed to ask our referee Christian Sorensen. And then proceeds to nearly lose his balance.
The pace of this game is making it very difficult for Jarno. This is not his natural pace. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to work that one out. Now we're going for his more usual route, the centre. Oh, I thought it was the centre of the board. Miscount by me.
We've all been there.
It's been a long day, Dan. It's been a long day, but there's no excuse. I should get that right. That's one of those moments. If I was up there, I'd have been thrown at the bullseye and bust the whole lot. because I'd have hit the bullseye. You know you would have hit the bullseye. When you miscount, you would have hit it. There's no two ways about it.
59.
I think I'll know about that one later with the lads on the officials table. We do like to have a little banter when a slight misdemeanor is made. I think we can all see Jarno's dilemma here. He's trying to do his thing.
133.
It's not that Paul Lim's getting in his way. It's not that he's standing there at the board and not allowing him to throw.
Seven 19s would have left double top. He's going either side of the treble 19.
Jarno's had a wander off. Back to the water table.
You don't need to be a body language expert to realise that Jarno's hating every moment of this game.
Even if he comes through it to win it, I don't think he's going to enjoy it.
63. Holding by 86.
Double seven.
Just double checking with our referee. And that was for the set.
It was for a clean sweep set against the throw. And Jarno misses two opportunities. In many ways, it might be better for Jarno if Lim takes this out, forget the third set, refocus. That won't happen, though. Untimely bust.
I understand exactly what you're saying there. It could be the best thing, Dan. I think you're right, but you don't think like that when you're Jarno up there. You think, I want to get this and I want to go on. Paul Lim's still finding it funny. It's got to be well past his bedtime, surely.
The night is still young if you're a darts lover.
As my dear old friend Martin Adams says, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Lim continues to plug away and has a little chat with himself. Jarno's got back into the habit of every throw looking at his brother in the crowd to try to steady his mind.
28.
180, 140 and 28. Jarno lucky that Liam is quite a way off.
Indicated to himself there he was stretching. Knew what the problem was and made it right with his next dart.
78.
Loose last dart leaves one of those awkward mid-range checkouts. He might only get one dart. Two single 19s leaves 160.
85.
Treble 19 much better. Double top. And we're back on terms.
Jarno Bottenberg. Fifth leg, Jarno to throw first. Game on.
Break of throw puts Jarno back in the driving seat for set 3. From a 2-0 lead in set 3. Paul Lim finds himself level. But once again comes out and frustrates his opponent by getting that last dart treble.
134.
Nice work from Jarno. He really is having to dig deep here. There will be another break before this game is completed. What's going to be the score at that break? A few stretching exercises there from Jarno. In the background, are they the equivalent to Paul Lim's ghost rowing?
We'll never know.
No, we will never know. Treble-less visit there from Bottenberg has opened the door for Paul Lim. He will go the ball route, or he should go the ball route. He does, 25. Treble 20 now for the bullseye. Treble 20 is there. Bullseye for the set. Jarno Bottenberg can't look. Oh. It caught the flight, didn't it?
It certainly did. Jarno wandered off. He'll come back for 112.
Paul Lim has stood there smiling away without a care in the world. You have to love that. How do you do that? This is a World Championship quarter-final.
Double 18.
94. 25.
Both players have missed set darts.
So he goes the 9 route for the double 8. Set 3 going Paul Lim's way. One more dart. Double 4. It's another set to Paul Lim.
And it's greeted with a big celebration.
I don't know whether they're high-fiving in the crowd or 1 or 2 are leaving because their taxi are leaving. Don't leave now, ladies and gents. This game has still got some work to be done. And 2 sets to 1 in favour of Paul Lim. The averages are 86 a piece. We said the Duff game earlier with Jason Brandon was a grinder and a scrapper. This one most certainly is because of the contrast in styles between the 2 players, the contrast in ages between the 2 players, and the contrast in experience between the 2 players. And what other sport do you get this?
That's why we love darts. If Jarno manages to overcome Paul, I would be very surprised if he'd ever been involved in such a grueler.
140.
These last couple of visits, Paul Lim has thrown a little bit quicker, and that suited Jarno's game. So he's taken the pace out slightly once more.
139. Paul requires 70.
Double 16.
Not now, please. Definitely put Paul Lim off there. Sounded like Bo Duke was in from the Dukes of Hazzard.
That sounded like treble 10, double 16. And that looked like the fist pump of a relieved man.
Second leg challenge to throw first. Game on. 96.
Paul Lim already in this match has thrown 25 ton plus scores. Jarno Bottenberg's 20. 140 stakes. Bottenberg is ahead. 10 to 6. Both on 180, and when it comes to the high shot, we saw Bottenberg's 140 and Paul Lim's is a 113. Frustration from Lim.
I don't think the ghost throws are going to solve anything.
25. 100.
His limb starting to tire. It'd be completely understandable.
Yeah, absolutely.
28. 130.
Had a long match last night, didn't he, last on?
73.
And Jarno had a relatively early night with a win over tournament favourite at the time, Jimmy Van Ski. So Bottenberg goes 2-0. I saw Jimmy when he was leaving earlier today. He said, I need a break. I've been playing a lot of darts. I need some time off. And then start preparing for Q School.
He'll be playing in stage 2, so it won't quite be as long a week because of his Challenge Tour performances.
100.
I think Jimmy Van Ski is one of those that's taken a lot from this week. He's learned how to be a favourite,
95.
or learned what it feels like to be a tournament favourite. I think he quite rightly had that
96.
branded upon him.
More drift to the right-hand side, whether it's treble 1 or treble 3 when he's going for the 19s.
32.
Bad visit, and Bottenberg can pounce.
58.
Can pounce, but didn't. Despite his recent travails with darts drifting, Paul Lim's 100 points away from completing this leg and forcing Jarno to serve it out for the set.
Lim will be back for that awkward double 5, but
138.
Jarno pressures the shot. So for this set to go further, this double 5 has to go for Paul Lim. You would feel that's exactly what he does. And once again, the crowd applaud another Paul Lim leg.
134.
Jarno gesticulating to himself there that he wanted more, and his brother.
Another dart on the floor.
Yeah, big bounce out there. Kind of offers Lim a route back in, and looks like once more the 71-year-old is going to do his utmost to take it, and he does with another 1-3-7.
Big visit. All sets so far have played the full 5 legs. Paul is right on his coattails.
56. 95.
It's looking down, so it looks like treble 19, double 19, the chosen route. Treble 19 is hit.
Jarno knows what's coming. Oh, maybe he didn't.
Paul Lim's disappointment when he misses something like that, it's like he's a teenager still. His passion for the game is still there, 71 years old.
Double 8 for the set.
I'm sure when that left Jarno's hand, he felt that was going, that would have felt good. Now it's Paul Lim for double 8. He did this last time, went inside.
Double 2.
Gesticulating and telling the crowd what he did wrong there. I think what you did wrong there, Paul, is you went with it.
It's as if he went to punch the board and then recoiled immediately because he realised, actually, that'd be a daft idea.
Yeah, that would have been a better one, Paul, that ghost throw. Frustration for Bottenberg as the crowd tried to lift Paul Lim.
This match is getting to Jarno. You don't expect stroppiness from Paul. I think he's almost doing it ironically. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and the big smile's back.
It's stroppiness with a smile. I've never kind of seen that before.
Jarno looks like he's had enough. He'll be desperate for this leg in order to have a bit of a break. I think he needs 5 minutes in the back room, and he's going to get it now. Jarno Bottenberg. It's just shy of 10 to midnight local time, and we may have 3 more sets of darts upon us. Both players will be hoping that it's 2. They'll be hoping that it's routine for the rest of the match. This has been so tough for Jarno Bottenberg, who has struggled to establish any sort of rhythm. He's still throwing some decent darts. It's an 86 average. It's kind of in keeping to a degree with where he's been for the majority of the tournament, 88, 89 and 92 in his previous games. So understandably, there's been a dip. Paul Lim just keeps rolling on.
54.
I think the break will have come at the correct time for Jarno, because he was visibly getting incredibly frustrated. And, you know, I think if he thinks deeply, he's not going to blame Paul or anything like that. It's just the way he plays. He just wants this game over and done with.
Well, that's Gary Stone didn't. When he faced Paul Lim, he said he just didn't do enough and allowed Paul chances. And this is the way that he plays. This is the way that he does it.
Jarno's got the darts. The dream scenario would just be 3-zip, get this set done, and then fight and battle in the 6th.
When you play a player like this, for Jarno, it gives you so much time to think of other things that are going on.
Normally at this time of year, Jarno's playing hotel bar DJ.
Yeah, I could hear it at 1:30 in the morning in my room last night.
81. Now we require 180.
Went looking for treble 16 for the bull. That's the 3rd time he's had a bounce out now by my count. Then needs a treble.
55. Now you require 80.
$20 for tops. Ooh, just. Had to lean over and check.
41.
He was just double checking with Christian, but he didn't have to check with that one. That was definitely a 1. Yeah, they're both in, Paul. Don't bust it. Nice and high.
140.
Great experience.
Now we require 39.
Jarno's got to split. Double 18. He's been favouring this.
3.
He has indeed, and the way his dart goes in the board, it kind of kicks that way and allows him to use that dart, doesn't it?
There's double top. Not the ideal start to this 5th set for Jarno Bottenberg.
One of those again where the break probably came at the wrong time for Bottenberg. He was just getting back into it, finding a bit of rhythm, winning that 4th set. Oh, here comes Paul Lim again.
180.
You just can't keep this guy down, can you?
96.
He's a remarkable human being. Slips into the one. That's been a recurring theme.
40.
Not a great deal of damage done.
Well, this is better from Bottenberg. Pressure in the 60 of Paul Lim.
Double top. 2-0 in set 5.
What pressure, Dan? There's no pressure there.
I think Paul Lim, for the last however many years, has treated any darts competition he's entered as a free hit.
I think that's a fair assumption. I think that's a very fair assumption.
He's here to enjoy himself.
I was just about to say the same. Does he look like a man that is not enjoying himself at what he loves doing?
180. 130.
Could be an 11 darter here.
140. 59.
Once again, leaving the favoured 36.
This time it's straight in.
Nice hold of throw from Bottenberg there. Keeps the set alive. And once again, continues to recover. And the first two darts are quite where they want them to go. Jarno finding a spring in his step after winning the last leg.
I think the pace has picked up slightly. We know Bottenberg's quick, but it doesn't feel like Paul Lim is ambling or doing as many ghost throws as he did earlier.
And that's when he addresses the oche. He hasn't been slow around the oche at all. It's when he goes to the oche and addresses the oche. He's had a few throws where he has thrown maybe a little bit too quick for himself. And then he goes back to throwing each dart individually. And basically what I would say, he's trying to give every dart a chance when it leaves his hand. He doesn't want the dart not to sit there properly. He doesn't want it to do anything untoward. And there's nothing wrong with that.
95.
Needs a treble.
41.
Almost neck and neck.
78.
Once again, there's that treble 20.
The clock strikes midnight.
94. All require 107.
107 then, Paul, for the third set. We'd expect 18. Not too far away from busting. Double 16 now. Paul Lim leads this match 3-2. Nerveless.
6 at first leg, point to throw first. Game on.
His second ton plus checkout.
Jarno can't believe this is happening, can he? I like to look at the player that's not throwing in situations like this, and it just looks like he can't believe what's happening here, Jarno. How is this happening? He's just had another set of his that he started with throw, and he's been turned over.
Jarno Bottenberg must be stood there throwing darts, playing against 70-year-old Paul Lim, thinking he's in some kind of fever dream. I get you, Jarno.
83.
Definitely picked his scoring up since the break. Only managed 180 beforehand. There's 3 in the last 4 legs. How about another?
140.
Well, it does leave the 140, which we saw him pin so expertly in the second set some 2 months ago.
Now they require 140.
Deja vu. Oh, he's banged it straight in. Yeah, we know you've done it twice, Jarno. I think that's what he was indicating anyway. The fingers were the wrong way round.
If not, his brother's upset him in some way or another in the last 30 seconds.
98.
We've now gone past the midnight hour.
23.
And 1 or 2 have been leaving to catch the last train to Trans Central.
134.
More hand signals to Jarno's brother. Paul Lim chips away at 95.
121.
Bottenberg looking here to take a 2-leg lead in set 6.
58. Now they require 148. 73.
3:25 remaining. This might be the quickest set yet. Double top.
35. 98.
Bottenberg returns.
Jarno require 40.
He looks, he takes aim.
20.
And offers Paul Lim a chance
112.
to take his first leg here in set 6. First one is lovely. The second one is lovely. Got excited with the third, and you could hear from the oohs and the ahs of the crowd.
Jarno require 20.
I feel that's a chance missed for Paul Lim.
Double 5.
Game 10 to 7.
Jarno doubles his lead. And you're going to hear every noise and every movement on stage.
Game on.
The Lakeside crowd has dwindled.
We have had a super crowd in here this evening.
They have been brilliant, and they have been treated.
139.
It's a late finish for some, understandably. They've got to get off.
135.
Look what number Jarno's left. A number that gives him very happy memories.
26. Jarno require 131.
Could be a 12 darter. You know he's going tops, tops.
111.
Almost.
I think he can afford a smile at that.
Thanks to Moreno Blom, he's just sent me a message saying Jarno's brother is not here today. It's his uncle and his friend in the crowd. His brother is in Sweden on a pre-booked holiday before Jarno qualified. Knowledge is the bomb.
7 set final set. First set, Jarno Bottenberg. Game on. 100.
So, a 7th and deciding set. Buckle up your seatbelts. Advantage Bottenberg. He's got the throw, and he's made the better start. And is this Paul Lim darting fairy tale about to come to a quarter-final conclusion? It's the second time he's ever been in a World Championship, last 8. It's amazing to think that, other than the run in 1990, which saw him hit the 180. And when I say 180, I mean 9 darter. his World Championship career has been a spate of first and second round exits. For how much of a revered figure he is.
Someone enjoying that treble 20 there in the crowd.
Every voice is amplified.
Even ours, mate, now.
Our volume is going to have to decrease.
Those two 4-0 quarterfinals of the afternoon session are distant memory now for us. They feel a long time ago. Just to remind you, it was Francois Chouin who beat Thomas Youngens 4-0 in our first quarterfinal earlier today, and Peter Machin lost out to Shane McGurk 4-0.
107.
And those of you who have been with us all evening would have seen an absolute Lakeside classic between Neil Duff and Jason Brandon of America, and Jason Brandon coming through 4-3 in that one. Paul Lim wanting tops here, now 10s.
In the deciding set against the throw, Paul Lim strikes first.
We've got about half the crowd left that have been in all evening, have left to catch their bus, their train, their booked taxi. Paul Lim just pings a double 10 there, and I think the noise was louder than when it was full up.
137. 59.
So one leg up here in set 7. 133 plus these in front.
95. 62. Or we require 170.
Everyone wanted a 170.
134 here we'd be happy with. Dips his foot into double check. 134 he gets.
83.
Scott, when you're 70, will you be able to do this?
Probably won't even be able to commentate, mate. I probably won't be able to get up the stairs to get here. The dodgy double 9. He still goes for it. Paul Lim takes a 2-leg lead in this last set. Are we about to witness some more Lakeside special history?
Well, Jarno's gifted Paul a chance with an opening visit of 59.
Did Paul Lim get a little excited there? Is he seeing the finishing line a little early? Every treble 20 for Paul Lim now being clapped.
140.
Bottenberg will not lie down.
Jarno is getting his fair share of support.
Lim needing a double treble visit here.
I think Jarno was distracted by someone dropping a bottle or something.
It would have been a plastic bottle, mate, or a plastic glass. Not allowed glass in here.
Plastic pitchers have been flowing.
I'm surprised Paul Lim didn't start on the 19s for this.
100.
He needed a 140 to leave. Double by going that route.
55.
It could soon be the end of the road for Jarno.
Again, Paul Lim has to have a treble visit here. He now goes down to those 19s, looking for 133 to leave double top. Another one of those will do that. You're hearing yeses from the crowd. Oh, yes.
Jarno needs to show what he's made of. Treble 18. He's not there. Paul Lim is coming back for the match. He's coming back for a place in semi-final Saturday.
Three match starts go begging. Difficult one. The crowd were really wanting that to go in. There was the odd shout while he was throwing. He's laughing about it. His tongue is going out, but Jarno rightly taking his time.
Double 18. Jarno Bottenberg, balls of steel. He's still in this.
Is that relief or is that belief? Have we just seen the game, the tide turning? Has the big roar inspired Paul Lim?
Great recovery. One treble per visit may just be enough.
He'd like to be greedy and get a double treble visit, but while you're trying to be greedy like that, there's always a concern. But you have a no treble visit at all. Here's the double treble visit he is dreaming of.
Oh, it's a treble visit that he dreamt of.
Wow. If you are not on the edge of your seat, oh, Jarno.
Oh, Jarno! Irresistible.
Well done, Jarno.
It deserves the last leg.
Going to lead the tops again, needs that treble 19. Little shuffle along the hockey to try and get an open time. This time it doesn't happen. 144 can't go, but can he set it up? He has. And now he has to pray. Paul Lim should get another dart.
He's going to get two. Over to you, Paul Lim. It is